Hi, my name's Ruth and I'm off on a walk today for my 30 days wild activity, and I'm going to be looking for trees all the way from sapling to death and seeing if I can find one of each at each stage. And hopefully, if I do, I'll be able to talk about some of the habitats that you get in each and what's actually happening at each stage of the tree's life.
And here we have the first tree, a very tiny but very cute maple sapling. And the last few months it's been in the ground and the weather conditions have got right. The seed has produced its first roots. It's used the energy from the seed to produce its first roots and its first leaves. It's now got a few leaves to make its own food through photosynthesis, and it will be using the energy from that food to grow, and it will be using that energy for about the next 50 to 60 years to really put on some proper growth.
So I'm now standing in front of what I call our pole tree. This is the sort of teenager, young adult of the tree world, and it's about 40 years old. Now I know that because I have my trusty tape measure, and what you can do to get a very rough estimate of a tree's age is at about shoulder to chest height, get your tape measure, wrap it round the tree and measure, and that's coming out to about 100. And then for ash trees you have to divide it by 2.5, which takes me to about 40. Oak trees you divide by 2, beech trees you divide by 2.5, other trees a different number depending on their growth rate. What this tree is doing is setting up a very straight pole to reach as high as it can before it builds its canopy out of spin as high as it can, and its roots are going down and slightly out to give it lots of ground anchorage and lots of stability. So this tree behind me is a lovely mature oak, and it's really starting to show its signs of age. It's definitely a middle-aged tree. It's starting to put some roots out at the bottom to stabilise itself. It's starting to spread its canopy. It's stopped growing upwards, it's now going outwards a little bit like a lot of us humans do in middle age. It's starting to develop some real characteristics. Its trunk may be starting to rot out, starting to go hollow. We've got some cracks up at the top. We've got some rot holes, we've got some delamination of bark, we've got some really lovely habitats going on in this tree now. Here we have an example of the delaminated bark, which bats love to crawl under.
Now the great thing about mature oak trees is their bark and all the little crevices. And if you take a close look, not that close, but a closer look, you can sometimes see little ants and spiders' nests and ladybirds and all kinds of beetles and bugs hiding in the bark. I could spend hours looking at the bark.
So I'm currently standing in a beautiful veteran oak tree. I'm actually standing in what was its trunk originally. It's now put its root systems out. It's lost that leading trunk that it put out right at the start of its life, probably about 800 years ago for this tree. And it's become much more squat and much more stable so that it doesn't fall over, though it has lost this little bit. And what it's doing now is it's surviving on about 30% of its heartwood. But it's doing all right, it's still very much alive, and it's providing an awful lot of habitats for lots and lots of lovely wildlife.
So this is what was the trunk of the original tree. It's been rotted out over the years by fungus, bacteria, insects, beetles, all very reliant on the trees getting to this age. There are holes, tiny holes, bigger holes that would be homes for mammals and loads of invertebrates. At the bottom there's a thick layer of dead material, and every time you move your hand through it, it becomes alive with beetles and woodlouse and other really lovely invertebrates.
And here we have the final stage of my search, a poor dead tree. It looks like it was once an oak tree, but it's difficult to tell from here. But it's covered in ivy, which is a great habitat. The bark's starting to peel off, so again bats can be found under here. There'll be holes in it that woodpeckers have made to search out the beetles that are feeding on the dead wood inside. And as it slowly rots to the ground, its nutrients will be broken up in the ground by the bacteria and returned to the ground for the other trees around it to use. So even in death, the tree is providing life. So I've done it. I've managed to find my different trees at different stages, from sapling through to death.
And at each stage, each tree has its own characteristics, and each tree is doing its own part to provide habitats for lots of other different things. Now, we never get to see a tree get old. It slowly grows and can take up to 1,000 years if you're an oak tree. Yews, on the other hand, which are struggling to find around here, can live up to 5,000 years old. So trees will be here a lot longer than we will be. So I hope you've enjoyed my little talk today, and I hope you go out and see how many trees you can find. It's a great fun thing to do, and remember, look in the bark, it's always an exciting place.